Football Power Hour.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, Man United 1 for Nottingham Forest 0. It feels good. It feels good to celebrate positive results because, there's so few of them in this Manchester United life. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to talk briefly about this FA Cup 5th round tie that we just witnessed. And I'm so privileged to be joined by somebody so special to me, somebody who's been here, big supporter of the channel. She was here before the season started. We did season's predictions with her, and I think at the end of the season we're gonna do a stream where we review those predictions because boy, we were wrong about so many things. But anyway, before that, I want to kindly say, please hit the like button if you haven't done so, and subscribe if you're not done so yet. My name is Botswanapapi, or you can call me Power Hour. This is the match reaction / review to Nottingham Forest versus Man United. Let's go. To get the drum roll. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome Nick in the building. What's up, man? Nick? It's good to have you here, mate. Long time.
It's been a long time, hasn't it? You've not invited me back. That's what it is.
Nah, don't say that. I always, ever since you won the quiz, the Friday Happy Hour quiz, you just got the cup and then you left.
I was like, I'm having it, and that's it. I'm not defending my title.
Yeah, and we actually play a different format now. We don't even play that Jeopardy style one. We play this one on this app called Kahoot. Every Friday. Yeah. You gotta join this coming Friday if you're free.
I'll tune in. I'll tune in and see.
Yeah. Shout out to you. First of all, where's your drink? We won today. We have to toast. Yes. Cheers. Oh, there we go. Wow. How do you feel? Your thoughts on the game real quick. Let's just talk about that
do you know, I want to be happy, and I am happy. I'm really happy that we've won. I'm not happy with the way that we won. I'm not happy with our performance. But, the win's the win, isn't it, at the end of the day? That's all that matters. It doesn't matter whether you've scored 10 goals or 1 goal.
True.
We've won. So that's all that matters.
A win is a win. I like that. I like how you put that. Because also look at how over the weekend we saw, obviously, to put, salt in the wounds. It was like Liverpool, lifting a trophy. And it was a scrape 1-0 win versus Chelsea. But, they won the cup. 1-0, a win is a win. And it's not always about how you perform. It's about how what the scoreline is. Anyway, on that regard, I'm curious, before we talk about every little player specifically, do you have any standout players, by the way, that deserve a little bit of a honorable mention?
The only one for me really would be Casemiro, because he got the goal. He was in, he's very good at being able to pick out that play, and that's probably the standout bit for me. It wasn't a great performance, was it? To be fair, but we got the win. Casemiro got his head on it. I'm not quite sure how he injured himself, but
that was strange. Like, to see that blood, and you're like, where is the referee? Why are we not protecting him? How did this happen? Was somebody supposed to get a yellow card?
I thought he'd hit his head on the goalpost, but when I watched it again, I was like, he's nowhere near the post. So I don't know what happened. And then he had the little, I don't know whether it's blood or a cut under his eye, but
I thought it was actually here, Nick. I thought it was like on his.
There was the head cut was, and then he had like a bit. I don't know whether it was a cut under his eye or a bit of blood from that. I was just like, "What's happened to him? He's been in a scrap."
Wow! Well, he went to war for us, and I think we appreciate that. I also want to say, in terms of appreciation, I appreciate Niall in the house saying, "Can't wait for the next round. Bring on Liverpool. Well, now, yeah, I like the confidence. Nick, big ups, long time mate. Hope you're well. Bring on the Brookside FC. Talking about Liverpool, do you fancy our chances versus Liverpool? Like, how do you think we will do? It's going to be a home game, I believe. It's going to be at Old Trafford.
It's going to be a home game. I think I'm going to struggle. I think we're going to struggle, but Liverpool haven't exactly been winning with lots of confidence. I mean, they go quite a while without goals, so it's not cut and dry. But I am worried. I did say as soon as we came up against a decent side, we might struggle. So at least it's not City.
Right. That's happening this weekend, by the way. Oh my God, it's going to be a tough couple of weeks for us. It's going to be a tough couple of weeks. Something that we always do on this channel, by the way, Nick, it's a little silly game where we, like look at every player's performance, that every player that started, we give them a performance grade, sort of like teachers, sort of like we'll be like A, B, C, D, or whatever, or C plus or whatever, and then give a little performance remark. So I want to just kind of just go through the game in that format and see, what your thoughts are, and also the people that are tuned into. Please feel free to participate in this. This is one of those ones that we scraped through FC, and here we go. This is actually the grades versus Fulham. So today, it's Forest versus. Hold on, let me do this. Cancel. Forest versus United. Boom. Okay, so we saw Onana. You see the last remark was, please dive. Onana can be frustrating, but what did you think of his performance today, actually?
I thought it was a good performance. I thought he performed well. I think he made some pretty decent saves. He was definitely on it today.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, Forest weren't exactly. I mean, they had a lot of shots, but I was never really that worried. I thought they had a good handle on his box. So I would say, I mean, there's still room for improvement. There's always room for improvement, but I'd definitely be giving him. Well, it was a clean sheet, wasn't it? So I mean, you've got to go for the A grade, haven't you?
All right. Yeah, right. It's a little. If he had conceded, then yes, we can mark him down. But yeah, I think an A. Distribution was fairly okay, also from my point of view, and some of the shots that he saved were more or less like directly at him, but he was called to really dive maybe one or two times where it's like, all right, good save. And honestly, I want to give him his flowers and say his resurgence has come a little bit under the radar, because he's been horrible, for most of the season, and he more or less, you can make the case and say he sabotaged our Champions League hopes. Onana, since AFCON, has kind of turned a corner, in my opinion. And let's see how he keeps on going. Stephanie agrees, says 8 out of 10, which is an A minus in my book. All right. Diogo Dalot. So I'm gonna start on Diogo Dalot. I feel like I saw some improved crossing. It's getting the, McTominay missed that chance, and something we have to commend Dalot on is the crossing. It's something I have to mention. It's refreshing, right?
I mean, again, he had a really good pass accuracy. I think it was something like, was it 92, 93%, something like that?
Okay.
So I mean, he's turning into a decent player. I think he's come into his own a little bit, as he's had to kind of fill in for Wan-Bissaka, and he's been moved around a little bit. But I really like the way he's coming on.
A minus or B plus? What are you saying? I didn't want to start the grade. I just started the.
I think I'd probably go. I mean, again, I'd probably go with a B plus. I don't want to give him an A, but I think he's getting there.
He's getting there. If he had gotten an assist, then it would be, I think then it would merit an A- or something like that. Big up to Joe Blackman in the building as well. And also Stephanie says, looked better in all black kit Onana as well. All right. He the looks. He gets some points for it. Yeah, it's not as tight. Stephanie, I know what you mean. Sometimes I always look at him, I'm like, is he comfortable?
Maybe that's why he's not saving well, because he's not comfortable.
Right, yeah. All right.
Black is very slimming, isn't it? Black is very slimming.
Yeah. By the way, I love your kid. I gotta tell you that I really love you got
I'm not a big fan. I'm not a big fan because on the back where the number's supposed to be, it's just plain. So the stripes don't follow through. Let me just see if I can get up and show you.
All right, baby, turn around. There's nothing.
It's just really weird. Yeah, it's just really weird. So if you had a number, I would understand. But if there's no number, you should really have the stripes there. But
I know. It's poor design. Poor design. What? All right, let's continue with our grading. Joe Blackman, what grade are you giving Varane? You lead. Take the lead on Varane, Nick.
Varane's a difficult one for me because I feel like he should be a lot better than he is. I personally think that he was offside for the goal, and it could have easily gone that he was offside. So I think that was really lazy at that point. But again, defensively, we kept a clean sheet, so you've kind of. I mean, I'll give him. Well, he didn't exactly have a great game. I'm going to give him a C, just purely because I think that he's not got the legs. He's not got the reactions for me. I'm not impressed with him at all, and it's dead funny because everybody else is, and I'm just like, no, I'm really not. He was all right. He was okay, but he wasn't a standout player for me.
Okay, all right.
I know you're disappointed.
Yeah, I'm saying a C when you got a clean sheet and you're the pillar of the defense is a little harsh.
I don't think he was the pillar though, was he? He wasn't the pillar of the defense for me. I don't think he was.
So you're going with Lindelof as the pillar today.
I think Lindelof had a better game. I mean, Lindelof made a very clear defensive save that kept us in the game. And I think that's you need to be able to recognize that, because he doesn't have great games, but I think today he did well defensively. Because I think if he hadn't have got that blocking, we'd have been in trouble.
Yeah. Okay, he deserves his flowers for that. I think, okay, fine. Lindelof, comparatively, I agree with you. He was actually a little bit better than Varane. But okay, so how about we disagree? Agree to disagree and say C+ for Varane, and then like
you can give him whatever you want. You can give him whatever you want because it's your show.
Okay. But I just felt like it's really harsh to say just a solid straight C for Varane.
Okay, we'll give him a bit of a plus then. We'll give him a bit of a plus.
Thank you. Be kind. R10 says C+ for Varane. He was almost caught out a couple of times by Awoniyi. Exactly. Yeah. It was some moments where you just saw Varane, sort of looking a little slow, the sluggishness that you just mentioned. So anyway, I'll just say, all right, clean sheet, but can be better, All right. Let's go to Sofian Amrabat. He played left back today.
Jesus.
Yeah.
He was caught out down that left side.
He was on right back at some moments, and then also at some moments he was in the middle. So he was everywhere. 3 positions, I believe.
I don't think he had a particularly great game. I think down that left-hand side, he was totally schooled at times, and I think he really struggled. But in fairness to him, he did work. He worked hard. But yeah, I don't think he was comfortable on that side, and I think that's why there was a bit of interchanging going on.
Okay. So let's give him a C.
Well, I'd give him a C- because down that left-hand side was really dangerous.
He
Really
was
dangerous.
you know what? He was our weakest link.
He
Yeah.
was. He was.
And Elanga was really, some moments had a good time. Also, what's his name? Origi also was looking very skillful, and partially was because of that,
Yeah.
our left-hand side in our defense just being weaker by default, by the personnel, Lindelof and Amrabat, first time they were being paired together there too, I think, in those roles. Anyway, all right, let's keep it moving. Casemiro, what do you think of Casemiro?
Got to be an A. We've got to have an A star. An A star. Come on. I mean, he won the game.
Yes. Yeah. A star, A plus for Casemiro. Great warrior today. I saw more of a warrior than a footballer, to be honest.
And the
goal.
thing is, he's not. I don't think he's necessarily got the physicality for the game. I think he makes some really sloppy challenges, but when you need him to step up, he certainly does step up, and you can tell what it means to him. You can tell what it means to him, because when he got that goal, it was all about the team, and it was all about that win. So for me, it didn't feel like he was celebrating himself. It felt like he was celebrating the team and the win. Where you don't get that with some of the players. So
True. Guys, we got close to 10 people watching us right now. Kindly hit the like button. Also participate in the game if you want. We're just over here giving grades. All right. Casemiro pretty much stood out, was one of the star performers for us. I think that's unanimous. If you disagree, let us know. Let's talk about the other part of our midfield, which was Scott McTominay came in there to over Mano. So Maxos. It was the
again,
sauce.
I mean, he had a really good header. Again, he should have done better with it, if I'm being honest. But he was there to get his head on it, and he does well when he's in those positions. Again, I think he got his foot to one of the shots. For me, it felt like he blocked it, but I could see when I watched the replay that he'd actually tried to get a bit of a flick on it, but it totally sent it in a different direction, and it missed. So I think if he hadn't done it, maybe the keeper would have got it. But again, he was trying. There was times when he was a bit, he was a bit anonymous in that midfield, and you wondered where he was. He gave away a couple of sloppy passes where you think, who are you passing to? But overall, the game was, it was okay. So I would I'd probably go with a C plus going into C plus, because I do think he had
I agree with you a little bit on that. I think actually a C is more like a fair grade for McTominay, because it's that thing where he's really the fantastic and also horrible at the same time. It's such
like you're going to be sick and then swallow again sometimes, isn't it? Don't want to waste my food by being sick, so I'll just swallow it again.
He's such an enigma, this kid, and at the same time he's our top goal scorer. It seems like the chat is disagreeing with our Casemiro score. R10 said B plus, that's why I still have it right there. And also Joe said A plus. Get out of here with that. It's a B plus for me. The whole performance doesn't deserve that. If you're looking at Casemiro's performance after 90 minutes, maybe we should just say a straight A then, not an A plus. Okay, because A plus means like he was flawless,
He was flawless because he got us the winning goal. Otherwise, we could potentially have gone to extra time. Come on. I mean, did you want to go to extra time? Did you want another 30 minutes of that dross? I don't think so. I don't think so.
That's your definition he rescued us. No, he wasn't flawless. He rescued us
he did
from,
rescue us. He did. I mean,
you
that's
know,
fair. If you want to change it to, an A or
just a straight
B,
A.
yeah,
I think it's a
yeah,
straight A.
okay.
Because the average of the house as well brings it down to that, by the
It's
way,
still
you
a
know.
pass,
So
isn't it? An A is still a pass.
right,
It's a top
an
pass,
A
so
is
it doesn't really
great.
matter, does it?
An A is great. Joe says that's not how flawless works.
It's how it works in my house.
There's this Beyonce song is like the thing that flawless, flawless that I just remembered right now. Joe, you just reminded me of that. Anyway, Stephanie says Casemiro deserves his score. No help from his other invisible midfielders. That is Bruno and McMissing. All right. All right, McMiss. All right, McMiss gets a C. Let's go to Bruno, who was erratic and reckless last game. How do we assess Bruno's performance today?
Oh, this is difficult because actually,
he got the assist.
He did get the assist. I'm still really angry with him for his shooting outside the box. He's still trying to do that. It really irritates me because there's passes on and he doesn't. It's like he either doesn't get his head up and look, or he just wants to try and go for goal because he doesn't think that there's anything around him that's worth it. And I'd like to see a little bit more of the actually trying to get the ball low on the ground into the box that we can have a dig, because it's dangerous. It's dangerous if you do that. Get it into the box.
I know. He has the impossible shots sometimes from different, because I mean at the end of the day you want your midfielders to try sometimes to take long shots, but he, for me, there was a moment where if you take two shots, you have to feel the emotion and your form in the game. If you take two shots and then they're not really working out, don't keep trying it. Let's try create the space for somebody else, because Casemiro also has a long shot ability if he's really given the time, and he actually took a few shots as well, Casemiro. But Bruno, there was also another moment where it was a cutback cross. I can't remember who crossed the ball for him, and he really should have put that ball like on target, and it went off target. And then the other one was like straight at the keeper. So like those moments are very, very thin margins that can win you a game, and you expect more from somebody of Bruno's technical ability, So I was a little between whelmed and underwhelmed by Bruno's performance, So
it's probably something that's interesting then. So according to Statman Dave, Fernandez has won more tackles and created more chances and registered more assists than any other player on the pitch.
Oh my God, Bruno Fernandes.
So do you see when you're looking at the actual game and you're watching the game, but actually when you break it down into those stats, how different it can feel, because you're comparing it to other players. But yeah, that's an interest, because I was shocked. I was like, really?
I don't believe the stats. I'm gonna trust my eye.
Well, that is exactly the point. Stats to me mean nothing. I can see with my own eyes.
Yeah.
And actually his attitude sometimes really does affect the people around him. So, you might get more passes and more shots and stuff like that. But actually if your behavior and your attitude is affecting others around you, and that's making their play worse, then what's the point?
Yes. Okay. All right. I said C minus. Stephanie said E.
He's failed. He has failed.
Bruno's parents are not going to be happy. What grade are you saying? You're going to help to average it out. Also, big up to Mark in the building as well. Yeah. What are you saying, Steph? Nick?
I would go with, I'd go with a D.
A D. All right.
Yeah.
So I went with a C minus. Stephanie says E. Nick said D, and R10 says C plus. I think it's averaging to be a C minus or a slash D, right? Yeah. Unless
We'll go with
somebody
C
else.
minus.
Unless
Considering his
anybody
stats
else in
say
the
something
chat.
different, then
Right. You can bring the average up or down, by the way, if you're in the chat. Please. Well, right now we'll leave it at C minus. Let's go to Antony. Antony had a start today.
Yeah.
Antony, he was kind of lively. For me, the first half, I actually saw a lot of really lively moments from Antony.
Yeah.
He hit the bar. He was kind of very much more like our standout performer in the first half, and then in the second half, he kind of faded a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I don't know. In overall, I don't know. Like, it feels like it was a B minus type of performance, C plus for me. What are you saying?
I think he did well in that first half, and I think the start of the second half he did okay. What I like about him, even though I don't think he's good enough, and I'm still not quite sure why Ten Hag thinks he's unstoppable. He will work. He'll track back when he loses the ball. I don't know whether it's a little bit of his ego's hurt and he'll just go and try and get that ball back. But actually, that's what I want to see. I want to see those players who have lost the ball getting up and actually tracking that man back to try and get the ball back. I love that about him. I really do. We can debate all day whether he's actually good enough or not. But I do think he had a much better game than we've seen him, and he's not had many games this season. He's not had much game time, and I do think some of the stuff that's happened off the pitch has probably affected him. But he gives it his all. Whether he's good enough is a different story. But yeah, I do, and he did hit that bar, and I thought, oh my god, I can't believe that didn't go in.
It was
a bullet as well. It was a bullet.
It was a well-worked free kick routine that is somehow, Nick, our free kicks are becoming better after that guy has left for Minnesota, the set piece coach, Eric Ramsey.
Yeah.
Now that he's gone, somehow we're doing so much better. And this should have been another one of those set piece routines that from the training ground and work well in the field, on the pitch. So big up to Antony.
Do you want to hear his stats? Do you want to hear Antony's
stats? Let's hear it.
100% tackles won, 95% pass accuracy, 40 passes completed, 4 chances created, and 4 shots. He was directly involved in 8 shots.
Oh my God! Jesus is
Lord! Wow! That is not bad. At least the stats support the eye test. The stats test and the eye test correlate here. It's not like the other player, Bruno.
Yeah.
So yeah. Shout out to GB, who's just joining us as well. Big up to you. So Antony's grade is a B minus. GB, let us know if you agree or disagree. And yeah, I feel like it's a B minus, almost C plus, but we'll leave it at B minus. Let's go to Marcus Rashford. Stephanie's mind was from C to B because of that stats support that you just put, Nick. Thank you. Let's go to Marcus Rashford. What are you saying about Marcus?
He's an E. He's so poor. I'd give him a U. If we could give U's, it would be you are off. I want
A U for you are off.
I wanted him off at half time. I wanted him gone. He'd already shown me enough of his dramatics, everything about him. As soon as he loses the ball, his head goes down. His head goes down. He doesn't try and track back. He's jogging. Why are you jogging? You're a footballer. Run. Put the pace in there. Oh, he was. Honestly, I'm going to swear in a minute because I'm furious with him. I am furious with him. He needs to just go now. I've had enough. You know, he's an academy player, homegrown, all that shit. But it doesn't mean anything if you're not going to put in that effort.
He was not interested, says Arteta.
No,
exactly.
He wasn't. He already thinks he's made it because he plays for Manchester United. That's it. He's got his new contract. He's got his 2 sports cars and, you know, his multi-million-pound house. You know, he's drinking shots in Ireland when he should be bloody getting back for training. He's just like, you know, Lingard was. You know, again, it's the same kind of character. We don't need those characters at Manchester United. We need players that are going to, not just actually for themselves, but for their teammates. Imagine how disrespectful that is. That teammates have ended their holidays and time off, and then you get this little spoiled brat thinking, oh well, I can just go and have a couple of shots in Dublin, and you know, and the cameraman or whoever it was saying, you know, oh, you're going to get him into trouble. No, he's getting himself into trouble. That's nobody else. He's an adult, and he needs to start taking some accountability and responsibility for the things that he does.
Yes. Yeah, he really, for me, it was yet another exemplification of Rashford as a number 9 does not work. Whether it's like actually, I didn't even understand if he was like actually trying to be a false 9 or actually just play behind the shoulder of the center backs. But the main thing is, for me, he cannot hold the ball. He does not have the physicality. You saw the moment where those 2 center backs like sandwiched him, you know, and you know, he's already looking for a foul in a moment where you're supposed to try and make yourself as strong as possible and make the referee believe you had control of the situation. You know.
Yeah. And it's interesting because he stayed down, and in our group chat, they were saying, oh, he's injured. I was like, he's faking it. He's absolutely faking it. He's realised that he's made an absolute tit of himself. Yes. And now he thinks, I'm gonna have to really, you know, it's like, you know, when you're younger and you're pretending to your mum that, you know, you're too ill to go to school and you're holding your tummy, you know, and within 10 minutes when she's made the decision that you don't have to go in and she's phoned school and you're like, oh, dancing in your bedroom. That just reminds me of them. I've not got any time for that at all. Just, you know, stand up and own it. You tried to get a penalty. For me, it wasn't a penalty at all. I'd be furious if that was given against us. I'd be absolutely furious. So do you know what? You dust your boots off, you get back up, and you start fucking playing again.
Right. I hear it.
I jumped right over that fence into a bog.
Oh Lord. Yeah, he is something about him that I think also Stephanie says Rashford has it written into his contract not to tackle. And it's something that's been happening over and over and over again. We saw it versus the Fulham game where there's that clip that's we showed it on the channel earlier on, and he's just looking like he's letting Ross Barkley pass through for free. He's not even putting pressure in. He's just jogging as if he's he
don't care. He doesn't care.
He don't
Honestly,
care.
I do believe he's checked out and he does not care. And we don't need players like that. We need players that are going to stick the boot in time and time again to get that tackle, to get that ball back.
Yeah. I also, by the way, so the next one that we have to talk about is Garnacho. So disinterested, interested. All right, and Rashford, I think we'll give him a
He's failed. He's resitting next year. He's back next year in kindergarten.
He has to repeat the grade. He has to repeat
it. He does. He absolutely does.
All right. Rashford does not want to concentrate. He's disinterested. Oh, man. He is generous, says Stephanie. All right. Let's go to Garnacho, the last starter in our starting 11.
I really
Alejandro Garnacho.
Yeah,
How do you
struggle with him? I really like him. I like him as a player. I think sometimes he gets frustrated. I think sometimes he doesn't keep his head up and he doesn't pass when he needs to. I think he's still got a lot to learn, but I do believe he is the type of player that will listen and will take instruction, and he'll use that as motivation for his next game. Again, I think, yeah.
You know, what's weird about Garnacho for me, Nick, is the fact that he was looking good on the right, and then today he played on the left, and on the left it just started early where there was that moment where the ball was about to get out, and then he pushes it, and then he just like becomes the speed pace merchant that he reminded me of Rashford. Back in the day, when Rashford just used to just try and take everybody on a sprint, and Garnacho just lost the ball just like that. You're like, what are you, who's this player? This is not the usual Garnacho that I'm used to. So I think he has a lot to learn, and I totally agree with you that he can listen to instruction, and he just didn't have his brightest day today. So what grade? Slightly better than Antony. C+ says Stephanie. GB says a B for Garnacho. R10 says a C.
Yeah, I would probably give him a C, just because I don't think it helped. His teammates didn't help. I think he's better on the right. I wasn't happy that he went over to the right at first just to make room for Rashford. But actually, I do think he produces more on the right. I think he has a better game. So I think now switching back, obviously because we've got injuries and stuff, I get it. But yeah, I'd probably go with a C. He wasn't terrible, but there was parts in the game where I thought, come on, let's do a little bit better.
You can do better than that. Exactly. Yeah. Any other subs that deserve honorable mention? We normally don't give grades to subs except the ones that really like. We saw Johnny Evans come in and he just kind of like was standard, right? He came in for Amrabat, and then we saw Kobe Mainoo come in added time for McTominay. That was really short time for Kobe Mainoo to really be impactful.
It was, but he was composed. What I like about Manu is composed. Even when he came on and he didn't have much time on the ball, but when he did, he looked composed, he looked comfortable. And to say, he only had a couple of minutes, I felt that he looked like he fits. It kind of almost feels like he comes into the team and it's not like he's a sub, it's like he's a starting 11 player and he's already gelled with those players.
Yeah. When I saw him and I just felt, Nick, I was like, oh, Ten Hag is resting him for the City. That was the first little thought like that. I thought I was just like, oh yeah, this is one of our most important players now, and he's definitely being kept in the wrapper, in the fridge for City. He has to be fresh. So okay, C+, C for composed. It's a C+. It's a very kind C+. That should be a B- really. Johnny Evans, as we said, not applicable. So was Ahmad. I don't really feel like Ahmad. GB says we had the glass man, now we have Ahmad the Invincible. Oh Lord. What about Eriktenhag, the last person to get a grade before we wrap the shop up?
Really? I'm really struggling. I'm really struggling with Ten Hag. I'm struggling with some of his decision making. I'm struggling with some of his subs, and I'm more so struggling with the interview at the end where he was asked about consistency. Oh yeah, we are consistent. And I'm thinking, consistently shit, maybe. Consistently shit, but I get that we only lost to Fulham, and we've had a good start to the year, but they haven't been good performances, have they? And sometimes you do have to win bad. I get it. You have to win messy. But you cannot, when you're winning messy, you cannot keep doing it that way, because you are going to come unstuck. It'll only take you so far, and when you come up against those big teams, that is where he's going to come unstuck. And he plays so defensive. It's scary. It's scary because I want to see more. I want to see high intensity. I don't think he's cut out for the Premier League, if I'm being honest. I don't think he's used to that, the pace within the Premier League. So I'm not impressed. I said at the start of the season, I wasn't impressed. I know we won the Carabao Cup last year, but again, one-off cups like that, it's more difficult when you've got to, you can have, for example, when you're winning Messi and you win a cup, that's absolutely great and fine, because it's how you are on the day. But when it's done over a longer period and it's looking at your consistency in the play throughout the season, that is the bit that I struggle with. That is for me the bit that, because I'm not seeing that. I'm not seeing any style of play. I'm not seeing him rewarding players and taking players off that aren't performing. Rashford is a prime example of, he will continue to play him when there are other options. We have kids. Play some bloody kids. Give them a chance. Give them a chance.
Yes. Very big point there, Nick. For real.
So I'm not impressed. I'm not impressed.
If they're not gonna get a chance in an FA Cup game versus Nottingham Forest, when are they ever gonna get a chance?
Well, exactly. So maybe I think to myself, was it a good thing that we got through because we're going to get absolutely battered by Liverpool, or will we ride out some of these messy wins and actually win a trophy? I would take the trophy with the messy wins. I really would, because we are not getting Premier League. We're not winning the Premier League, and I personally don't think that we're getting Champions League football. I think that we're not consistent enough, and when we have to rely on other teams to drop points, that's where I question a manager's ability, because you shouldn't have to worry about those other teams. If you're performing and getting the results, it shouldn't matter what the other teams are doing. And I think we still rely heavily on other teams dropping points, and I don't like it.
So R10 is leaning towards a C+ for eriktenhag. If I say, I will be in trouble. So what grade is Nick leaning towards?
I'm not giving him a pass. An ABC is a pass, and a D is a pass at A level, and I'm not giving him a D either. I think he needs to go back to school and learn a little bit more about man management and styles of play, and actually implement something that is enjoyable to watch.
Yeah. I hear it. And I agree that his in-game, for me, is also, I guess, part of in-game management is reading the deficiencies of the. First of all, you gotta read, like, what's the trend. Of course, this is a football game. You don't have a full script of what's going to happen, but you can tell that this team is starting to threaten. And even if they miss one chance, you're like, oh, they might come back and actually have a similar chance again, and that's just reading of the danger, or seeing that your players are getting yellow cards, even though it didn't precisely happen in this game. But it's just that thing of that, the ability to read the tactical danger that you're in is something that a skill that a manager needs to have. And then from there it comes with, how do you respond tactically and so forth. What he had said about the game the game, the Fulham game, he had said it took us 30 minutes to figure out the problems that Fulham was causing us in the midfield. But he actually sat down and let the players on the field figure it out themselves, when he should be also helping with the, sideline coaching as well, and being
Absolutely.
like, these are the spaces, cover the space,
And I think there's something, there's two things here, isn't there? There's your manager comes in and he gives you the way he wants you to play. He sets up the formation and he says, you do this, you do this, you do this. This is your man. This is what you need to be doing.
Mm-hmm.
And there's something about allowing players, when they see it's not working, allowing them to change, allowing them to change the position. Absolutely, you should let them do that. What I've not seen enough of is those players actually doing that, actually reading the game. And he's not coming in and showing them, like, he's not giving them any autonomy to be able to make that decision because they're actually playing it, aren't they? They're the ones that, we can all sit on the sidelines and say, you should have done this, you should have done that. But actually the players are on the pitch and they're playing it, and actually they need to be able to change and swap positions if it's not working, if something's not working and you think, actually, I think you'll be better on that side, and do it that way. I've not seen enough of that, and I think that they're being stifled in that creativity. I really do think that they're not being allowed to do that. But he's not got a style of play. So if you're doing something, if you've got a good manager, let's take Sir Alex. I know we don't want to live in the past, but he was able to set up the play. Didn't matter who we were playing. What he told those players was, everybody wants to see you fail. Everybody wants a piece of United. So go out there and show them that you're not for the taking. And that is exactly what every single player did. And if you have to ruffle some feathers or kick a couple of players or do whatever it is without making it too dirty, then he would allow them to do that. And he knew which players were all right to do that. He knew how to manage those players. Ten Hag hasn't got that. I don't think he's got the respect of most of the players. And again, I think I read something about Ten Hag wanted them to train on the Sunday, and there was some of the players were a bit upset, or they didn't want to train. They wanted to have the day off after Fulham. And at first I was like, how fucking dare they? They should go and play. They should go and train. They lost the game. But then I think to myself, well, we've got a lot of injuries. And if you're supposed to rest after a game, just because they lost, how did they lose? If they kept possession and it was an unlucky loss, then that's completely different to the game where the opposition team ran 13 kilometres more than what we did, and he made them train and do that 13K. So there's a difference, and I'm not quite sure that Ten Hag's able to kind of differentiate between the two. So that's the bit that I'm really struggling with, because I do think that we've got a huge amount of injuries. Now, whether that's just a bit of, well, it's a little bit sore and, I might need to rest it for a bit, or whether actually they are proper injuries, but something's going on in training, because how are we getting that many injuries?
Yes.
The professional athletes will tell you that you need to have rest time. You can't just keep running marathons day after day after day. You need to give your body time to recuperate and your muscles time to relax, and then you get back into it. So I'm also a bit worried about what they're doing in training and how bad it is for them to keep getting injuries.
Yeah. Something that I also want to mention, I'm so glad that you're bringing this intensity and training methods and the injury issue up, because it raises questions about our medical staff and how good they are. Are they really top of the class? Because seems like we have some imposters, Nick. We have people that are faking it till they make it, and their medical records need to be checked again. If you were according to me, if I was Ineos, I'd be like, let's look at the credentials. I'm calling the referee, because at the same time, there's like there's no way we can be getting so many injuries are part of football, but like our key players, the fact that Malacia also, like, he was on a recovery and then like a setback, and then it's like Mason Mount. We have so many people that don't really we don't know what's up with them, really, and Luke Shaw, like it's just very disheartening that like we are not performing the way. If a medical team clears a player and say this player is fit, they should be fit to be on the bench, and not it become the responsibility of the manager to figure out, like, do I put him in now or do I wait till a couple of weeks? Because I feel like part of that is what happened to Luke Shaw.
Yeah.
The other thing that you mentioned that you made me think of was the fact that our lack of intensity shows a lot in our pressing, and partially it shows that Haaland, his pressing work rate is underrated a lot. And if you see the Fulham game, that second goal we conceded from a throw-in, and it's just showing the fact that like our defense from the front is not as good as it's supposed to be, and that's why it's maybe looking like our system is so vulnerable as well. There's been people, by the way, in the chat that have been agreeing with what you're saying. I think, what's his name? Montana. I saw your comment, even though I lost it now. But Montana Prime was saying Ronald should take notes. The lovely lady is saying everything I always say on this channel. Shout out to Montana. Stephanie says Rashford probably needs to get another birthday party. He needs to go to Belfast real fast. Or fix things with his ex, whatever her name is, Lucia or whatever her name is. He needs to figure the things out because we need that Marcus Rashford back. Didn't Casemiro almost do the Marcus Rashford celebration? I feel like he did something like this today.
well, I thought that, but I think he was saying it. I got it on my head, but then and then I thought, was he saying he's injured himself? Because that was the same spot. So I was a bit like, I have no idea what's going on.
He must be the most.
He was doing it. When he was doing it, there was no blood. So I don't know what that happened afterwards. It was just it was like a crazy 3 minutes of what the hell is going on. What have I missed? Did I blink?
He's like, it's good, but I'm injured. But I'm injured right here. I'm bleeding.
Who knows? Who knows?
I couldn't understand either. I was like, what is going on? No. But at least I think today he survived without a yellow card. So shout out to him for that. He got a goal, and more or less his performance was good. Something I have to mention while we're on Casemiro. Did you see somebody choke Bruno? There was somebody who was...
I can't remember which player it was, but that would absolutely be a red card, and it should have been a red card. And do you know what they'll say? They'll say it's because it was only one hand, whereas Casemiro's was two. They'll come up with anything, absolutely anything, to justify it. Because I mean, Bruno was like, "He's got my neck. You're not going to do anything about it," and literally nothing was done. I think a couple of people were saying, "Well, they're out now, so what's the point of giving him a red card?" It goes on his record. It goes on his record.
Right. Exactly.
That's why you need to get it, and actually, you need to show that that's not tolerated. That behaviour is violent behaviour, and it does not have a place on the football pitch.
There we go. Guys, if you're enjoying this conversation, thank you for being part of the 14 people that have hit the like button. Please kindly hit the like button if you haven't done so. R10, thank you for reminding me that I was like, well, the referee was all right, but this last part of our conversation, Nick, made me remember, no, the referee was not all right. That was inconsistent. And
it was.
So that was Bruno that was choked, and then Casemiro also, I feel, there was the bleeding. Exactly. So VAR has to get a D. Casemiro got choked. No, Casemiro
Bruno got choked.
Exactly. Casemiro got scratched, I guess, and And
I mean, he was bleeding quite a bit. God knows what happened to him. It's a bit like, what? That can't have been the ball. Was there a bit of glass on the ball when he headed it?
Right? And I can't believe there was VAR and none of that was addressed. Different rules for Man United.
Yeah, absolutely.
Anyway, any closing words on today's performance? We've got Liverpool next, and that should be a very tough game. But anything that you wanna?
It will be a tough game. I think obviously we've got City at the weekend as well, which I am hoping that the team come out and show pride and passion for Manchester Matchday Reds. So that is the bare minimum. I want them to come out and fight. I want them to come out and fight and show passion, show desire, want to win it more than City do. And at the end of the day, we're stopping City's title challenge if we beat them. We can't win the Premier League. I mean, it's still possible, but let's be honest, the way we play, it's not. But this is about stopping their chances of winning the Premier League, because this will be 4 on the bounce. 4 on the bounce if they win the Premier League, and that cannot happen. It absolutely cannot happen. I know we've obviously got the dilemma with Liverpool and equalising, but for me, City not winning the Premier League 4 times in a row is much more important that we make sure that we stop that. For me, everybody's got different, and depending on your age and the rival with Liverpool and stuff, that that all plays a part. But for me, I cannot have Manchester City winning it 4 times on the bounce. Absolutely not.
Yeah. No, that is I hear you said it like a true person from Manchester. We have to stop
the fucking Reds.
Right? Come on! Shout out to you for saying that. And I really hope this is a step in the right direction, like you said, and this needs to be addressed. The fact that all these horrible refereeing decisions, we cannot go into the quarterfinal with this happening all over again. This is what we're talking about, guys. This is a red card, but this is not. Come on.
Get out of here, man.
Different rules for Manchester United, and we are not happy,
No.
Anyway, we will take the win, though. We are happy with that.
We will take the win.
And, what a great conversation. It's funny because I was hoping that it was going to be just half an hour, but here we are.
You should have known if I was on, it would not be half an hour.
I know this. But it's been a while, so I'm so happy that you were able to pull up and make it. Stephanie says Bruno has a smaller neck. Is that the justification? Oh Lord. Oh wow.
We just massaging his throat for him. He's got so throat, he's massaging
it. Make it make sense. Look at this, guys, and that. What is the
difference? It doesn't make sense. It's never going to make sense. It's not going to make sense.
Anyway. The main point is we are through to the quarterfinals, and so is, I believe, Chelsea, who won 3-2 versus Leeds, and also Wolves beat Brighton by a 2-0, and obviously Liverpool won 3-0 versus Southampton. So it makes for a very interesting quarterfinal. Who do you think will go all the way? We're hoping that it's Manchester United. Exactly. We're going to say all the prayers we can. And
we're going to light candles and do a seance. We're going to do all that just to make sure.
Exactly. Light the sage, everything. Incense, everything. Oh, my goodness. So shout out to you guys that just tuned in and hit the like button one more time. You guys are special. Thank you for being here, Niall, Stephanie, Joe Blackman, R10, Yale, as usual, Compost, and also making the house. shout out to Nick saying super extra, super Nick and Papi brings the power. Yes, boom. Thank you. Yo, yeah. Moral of the day. If you're gonna choke somebody, do it with one
hand and not two.
Yo, what a lesson to carry on to the weekend. Oh man,
Who'd have thought it? Just use the one hand.
One hand choking is the one. If you didn't learn something, you learned something new today. This is your free lesson for the day, guys. Hit the like button. Thank you. Hit the like, Mick, says Stephanie. Both are red cards, of course, but Casemiro looked like he would be doing something very bad in that photo, says Yale. Mick, that was a clear choke by VAR. VAR and the referees choked on their job. That's how I will close the show. Montana, take your mind off the gutter, my friend. All right, Nick, we out of here. Thank you so much one more time. Ladies and gentlemen, hit the notification bell and the like button, and we out of here. Peace. Football Power Hour.
Good morning. So, I don't care.